Vanadis brushing transformed Bjorn in his licking form. I think after the DLC launches, we'll spend 2 or 3 months on this rebalance. Not the whole team, but some of us will. Hi everyone, my name's Andrew, long time no see. First of all, I'm here to thank you for your feedback, your comments, your support. It's really heartwarming to read the messages. I say this every time and I'll keep saying it. Thank you so much. Today I wanted to talk about the DLC that's coming out any day now. We've done a lot from the roadmap. I think we actually managed to finish almost everything, maybe just a few small things left. The biggest thing that I want to point out is that we reworked everything again. It's kinda becoming our tradition, every year we overhaul the entire game. We've updated the UI, increased font sizes, added full controller support, added 100 new event branches, we also fixed the endings, and of course we added the DLC itself with even more endings inside. We added new features like combat logs, event logs, and probably some other logs I don't even remember. I think we did everything we possibly could. Except just a few things. I'll tell you what we didn't manage to do, and it is daily runs. I'm not happy with the state they're in right now, also I'm not happy with custom runs, maybe endless mode for the base game and the tarot cards. But that doesn't mean that we won't do them. The DLC will launch, and after that, all the game modes will follow right after. You might remember from the last dev diary that we've expanded the team. We've got new game designers with fresh perspectives for our game and its processes. We've also got several new programmers, and thanks to that, we added a ton of new stuff. The most important of which is of course full controller support, but more on that later. Overall, I think that our roadmap turned out pretty well. There are still a few question marks, but we'll talk about that too. I want to talk separately about rebalancing the game. I really wanted us to overhaul the entire game's balance. More than that, me and Misha came up with a system for doing it properly, but as I've probably said before, we never had proper design sheets. That means that we were working with what we initially inherited from the very first game designer, so no documentation, no tables, and no descriptions. We were basically going with just our gut feeling. That's really hard to rebalance and hard to fix, so it is what it is. I promised we'd do a full rebalance, and we spent 2.5 months working on it last fall. We had our full attention to it, but in the process, we realized that we just wouldn't make the DLC release in time if we kept going. That doesn't mean we gave up and dropped the idea, not at all. We just didn't want to delay the release. So, along with the DLC, we've prepared some adjustments and fixes to the current balance. We decided to nerf dodging a bit. We toned down some overpowered and broken bosses. We also nerfed a few broken items so that more varying sets and more mechanics could get a spot in your strategies as well, because if you've got something OP, you don't even want to touch the weaker stuff. We also decided to rework some trinkets that give you extra energy. They're more useful now, sort of, but you'll see all of that in the DLC itself. And we'll be waiting for your feedback. It is really important to us. Even though we plan to redo the whole balance from scratch later, your feedback still matters a lot. It'll help us tweak the current version too, and we already have the tools for that. As for the full rebalance, as I said, nothing's getting cancelled. I am still determined to completely rework the entire game's balance to make the game feel just right. I want us to hit that 90+ rating. I want the game to stay fun and interesting for years, 5 years, 10 years from now on. I want it to be that hidden Steam gem that people can recommend to each other, like, hey, you gotta try this one, it's absolutely awesome. I hope the writing worked out, and I hope we'll follow the balance too. As I said before, it's a huge challenge for us, so it's more of a professional matter, so we could prove to ourselves that we can make it work. So that going into the next game, we would have a conscious and clear approach to these changes, so we could know exactly what's right and what's wrong with what we're doing. It is essential for us. I think after the DLC launches, we'll spend 2 or 3 months on this rebalance. Not the whole team, but some of us will. Now, consoles and controllers. We're aiming to release the console version in May. We're wrapping up controller testing right now. Hopefully the controller will be fully supported by the time the DLC is out. There are still some small issues. As always, we added a ton of new features and some bugs appeared with them. We added features like moving the chat window and the combat log with the controller, for example. But now, if you scroll with the mouse on the PC version, it jumps straight to the top or the bottom of the screen. It's not a huge deal, we'll fix it, and probably it will be gone with the DLC launch and you won't see it. So I guess we'll see you on consoles. I really hope you'll enjoy playing Mortis on the big screen. We might even need to redraw a few things in higher resolution, but we'll see about that. Please share your impressions when the console version comes out, and don't forget to add the game to your wishlist on PlayStation. We're already there, and I'd be super grateful if you could do that. It would help us a lot. I also want to thank the community once again. You guys help us so much. Your bug reports save a ton of players from the future headaches in the DLC. If this podcast comes out before the DLC release, all active testers are welcome in our Discord server. We've got a closed DLC going on, and we'll all be happy to see you there. Special shout out to Devil's Advocate. You've probably played for hundreds of hours in our game, sent us tons of bug reports and helped fix them. Thank you so much. You're a huge help, and I'm really glad players like you are a part of our community and play our game. I also wanted to talk about our next game. We'll probably do a poll, but you can also leave your thoughts in the comments. What kind of game do you think we should make? What genre, what style, and what game format would suit us best? Tell us your opinion in the comments. Maybe we could continue Mortis' story in a different kind of game. I'd love to make an auto battler based on Knock. We've got so many systems and mechanics already, and if we find a designer who's really passionate about the idea, we'll probably make it happen. It could be a new mode inside Knock or maybe a standalone game, but who knows, we'll see how it plays out. We will let you know about any news or maybe tests and any content once it's ready. Sai really wants to make a survival chaos game, and we're thinking about that too. It is a really old Warcraft mod, it was very popular back then. But then the Dota took over. If you played it, you'll probably get it. He's really passionate about it, and maybe we'll spin that idea into a separate project and make a game out of it. I personally want to make a sandbox RPG with tons of stories and possibilities, where you can even add your own stories, quests, events, items, or other content. We're brainstorming these ideas right now, and we want to ask you as of our community for your ideas and suggestions. Because after the DLC, we'll make a post about it and ask you what you think would be the best direction for us based on what we already did and what we already made. Maybe you've got some ideas for evolving Knock on the Coffin Lid itself. I'll be waiting for your comments, I'll be reading them, replying to them, and discussing what we should do next. Again, huge thanks to our community. Recently we held a creative contest in our Discord server. Evgeny Bandi won with her fan art of Vanadis brushing transformed Yorn in his licking form. We absolutely loved it. We're all grateful for this. It is clear that it was made with love and passion, and the only thing me and my colleagues could say is, wow, that's absolutely amazing. We even thought like, hey, you did great, maybe come work with us? Alright, that's it for now. There's always some nerves before release, but after launching the game, it's honestly not that scary anymore. We'll be waiting for your feedback. Write us on Discord, on X, formerly Twitter. Join us on Telegram, we also post updates there. Leave comments and reviews on Steam, they help us a lot, no matter if they're positive or critical. Just make them detailed and open, or if you would want to just express your kind words to us, that also helps. See you in the next Dev Diary. I hope that after the DLC release, I'll be back with news about our next game. This was Inri, take care and don't get sick.